Okay, welcome to the first DMPOST3 tutorial on setting up the whole projects. So the first thing I have to do is I'm on a Mac, and you might say, what kind of a Mac? I go to the upper left corner about this Mac, and it tells me that I'm running the OS is the operating system. I'm using Mojave, which is not the most current. The most current is Catalina. I'm on the previous version 10.14.6. This is important to understand. I prefer this over Catalina. Catalina has a lot of issues that create problems for a lot of stuff we do. If you have a choice to decide what software to use, ask for Mojave. Do not ask for the latest. This happens to be an iMac. It's late 2015, so it's over 5 years old. Okay. The processor is a 4 gigahertz Intel Core i7. The i7 is pretty darn good. They make i9s, and also a lot of people have i5s. The higher the number, the faster and the more cores, and this has to do with the computer processing unit. The memory, I have 32 gigs, which is a nice number. A lot of computers, when you buy them, the basic ones have 8 gigs. The medium-sized ones have 16. I asked for 32 because I know a lot of stuff I'm redoing. I need more RAM. A lot of these programs have a lot to do with RAM as far as performance on your desktop. I also have a fairly hefty 2 gigabyte graphics card. So if anything, the processor is known as your CPU, your computer processing unit. But you also need a GPU, graphics processing unit, and those two in concert makes a stronger computer. All right. So the only way to know if it's good enough is where you can load the applications that we use, the Adobe Creative Cloud, and then as we start editing, we'll try to work with what you've got. The first thing I'm going to do is log into Santa Monica College website, smc.edu. This is their news over refreshed website. Over here on the right says log in. I'm going to log in directly to Canvas. And it says, as far as Canvas, they want your email name without the student at student.smc.edu. All right. Do not use your ID number as your login, just the name, last name underscore first name usually. And if you have middle name, however the school has it, which may not be your real name, but the way the school has it, which is two different things. Password is the same one used for Coursera Connect. So I click on Log to Canvas, and there I am. I've saved my settings, so there's my name, Louis underscore Walt, my password. I hit Login, takes me right to Canvas, the dashboard. So the dashboard is a listing of all the classes you are registered in currently. These are all classes I'm teaching, so it's equivalent, okay? On the left here, if you need more information to help in academic resources, you click on that, and they have a whole bunch of things where you can chat for Canvas support. You can actually have a phone number you can call to get help from a real person, and a bunch of other things, academic counseling, you name it. It's a lot of stuff here, so take a look at that. Canvas Central, just learning how to make use of it. In here, Canvas Central, they have a lot of buttons for tutorials and how to navigate and do all the stuff for specifically the Santa Monica College. These are geared toward you at this with school and all that. Here's the whole thing on just confer now Zoom, which is very important. I got to remember to show you guys that later. Okay, so go back to my dashboard. Let's launch, for instance, the first DMPOST class. This is my view, but I'm going to change it to the student view, which is probably going to be your view. So you have a couple of tabs on the left. Home brings you back to this home page, which has all this information. And the most important information to me, for you, is our class schedule. I click on that and opens up the spreadsheet, which gives you the week of instruction, the date on when we meet, which is on this specific section, is the Tuesday 2 p.m. class. I also do a Thursday section. The bold numbers are when the editing assignments, most of the major assignments, are due. But you do have weekly discussion assignments that are due also. Okay, so that's listed here. So this is just a working roadmap, and I'll try to keep to it. And if it changes, which it could change, I'll make sure I let you know. I click back to home, and then there's the syllabus, and it says here, click on the down arrow to download a preview. Down arrow, preview. And here's the more formal document on the syllabus, which has, again, a lot of pertinent information. Part of that class schedule. I like the class schedules more specific. Materials and supplies. Notebooks are text is optional. I highly recommend do not buy this book. All right, mainly because it's the older one. It's 2 years old, so things have changed dramatically. So, but that's if you like books, then okay, maybe that could be a good resource. But my tutorials will help you. You don't need the book. I'm suggesting you get a USB external drive of at least 8 gigabytes. This is where you can store stuff and archive all your work. I'm sure if you have your own computer, it's starting to get full pretty soon. So this is one way to do it. I'll go more about details of that in class. And then there is all this other stuff you can read on your own. Okay. Minimize to close this up. Go back home. Let's go look at here's some more things about getting started on Canvas. These are helpful pages, hopefully, where you get all this help, technical support. If you've never taken an online course, here's some things about skills management, time management, and all of that. These are optional to read. If you want to, go ahead. You need some more support. But the more important thing is our class schedule. So I click on September, week 1. Gives you the intro and the Canvas stuff. So we get the introduction for what we're going to try to cover, the objectives of this week, and then the activities and assignments which are for that week. Okay. So here's the top 10 film list. I click on the assignment page, and then here's the link. And you got to read all the instructions here. If I click on this, it should open up to this. And then you can put the name of your top 10 films, follow the directions for this assignment. I'm going kind of fast, but these are things that we will cover in class. Where I really want to go is week 2. And in other words, here is when you have to click on discussion, you have to read this, and then you hit reply, and then you can start putting in your post. Again, read the stuff. Here's a PowerPoint video. This is part of your homework, and you can just play this inside this application here. I go back home. Oops, I should come back to week 2. And finally, the editing assignment. Now, there are tutorials that are helpful for the Premiere tutorials, which is on Vimeo. If I click on that link, I'm updating this as I'm doing this tutorial itself. All these can be updated for the current software. These are old ones. These will be changed by the time you get to this. And finally, for the first assignment, which is the Honda assignment, this is where you get the media. Okay. So I click on the Google Drive, it'll take me there, and here's all the media. All the media you need to do all your homework will be provided within this Google Drive. Okay, so you don't shoot your own stuff, you don't go find your own stuff. You might have to go find you some music maybe. Each assignment is slightly different, but this first one is all inclusive. You download all this. You would select all of them. If you right click and go download, it will download it anyway. All right, just trust me that these files will be there. Okay, so I just realized we're going to set up the Honda project. If I go to modules, I will find the Honda, oops, here it is, Honda project. And in this is all the specs for this specific assignment, including the source elements. Again, another link for tutorials, some pictures of things. You got to read everything, plus the grading criteria for the project, which is worth 100 points, and all that. Yes, you can actually check on grades to see what grade you get for the assignments. out of possible points. It gives you your grade, and usually I make comments also. Okay, you will get a comment on why you got the grade you did. Confer now is the thing which right now, because I'm not a student, it says I'm not included here yet, but you will, when you click on it, you will get to something like this, and the first class meeting, you click on it, and then you will, once it's logged in, you'll click on it and it'll take you there. Here's the ID, session ID for the Zoom session, and here's the password. It's you can just copy and paste this when it asks for it. Okay, so nothing going on now. If you miss the live session, it will be recorded, and you can check here under event recordings, and then you can pull it up and watch that yourself. Okay. All right. So let me go back to this. Okay. So this is a very whirlwind thing for all your assignments and all that. When you click on modules, you see all that listed independently. So you have the actual editing assignments, and you have the discussion assignments, and then there's some PowerPoint files, there's the weekly schedule, and finally some resource documents that may be helpful. These are all things I just throw in there. So it's a lot of stuff, okay? All right, so that's kind of like our basic setup. We'll get into launching Premiere in the next tutorial.